whenever you're ready. All right, I show that we're recording now. So, well, good evening to our incoming sixth grade parents. We're very happy to have you join us tonight, and we look forward to telling you a little bit about what life will be like in sixth grade for your student.
Gracias por estar aquí con nosotros, a todos los papás que van a venir a sexto año. Estamos dando un poco de vista de lo que va a ser para el próximo año de sexto año.
So we'll start with introductions. I am Peter Cunningham, the principal.
Ese es el señor Peter Cunningham, que es el principal aquí en la escuela secundaria.
Hi, I'm Brandon Peterson. I'm the assistant principal at West Oak Middle School.
Y ese es el señor Brandon Peterson, que es el subdirector aquí en la secundaria.
¿Y usted?
Y yo soy la señora Mancilla, soy aquí la secretaria aquí en la secundaria.
Angie Zamora, our other administrative associate, is not with us tonight.
Y la otra secretaria aquí no está en este momento, pero es la señora Angie Zamora.
Julie Marquez is our school nurse, which you will hear from her this summer, I'm sure.
Y Julie Marquez es la enfermera aquí, que a lo mejor van a escuchar de ella en este verano.
Hi, I'm Susan Borkowski. I teach choir and general music at the middle school.
Y esta es la señora Susan Borkowski. Ella aquí enseña música y el coro.
Hi, I'm Jessica Rosales. I'm the band director at West Oak, and I teach full ensembles and private lessons.
Y esta es la señora Jessica Rosales. Ella se encarga aquí de la banda y también hace clases privadas.
All right. So we know that this is a big transition for your students because there are so many changes between what would be grades K-5 and middle school. There's more classes, there's more teachers, and students have more responsibility. There's more, students have lockers, though they kind of have it in intermediate school, but it's a little bit different. We have sports, we have clubs, and on top of all of that, your student is going to be going through some physical, emotional, and chemical changes.
Estamos aquí, sorry to cut you off, Mr. Cunningham.
Oh, that was it.
Are the
slides
going, or I can't see the slides? I'm sorry.
You're in. Hay muchos cambios.
Hay muchos cambios en este año. Están muchos cambios. Tenemos muchas materias. Son 9 materias aquí. Son 8 clases de 45 minutos. Va a haber casilleros. Va a haber cambios químicos, igual que físicos.
But the good news is we love working with middle school. We think it's the best age, and we're looking forward to helping them on the next step of this educational journey they're on.
Y les gusta trabajar con esta edad, que es muchos cambios, y los emociona poder trabajar con ellos en estos nuevos capítulos de su vida.
So I want to go over a little bit of the schedule. And so what I'll do, Ms. Mency, is I'll go through this whole slide, okay? So we have a daily schedule that's a 9-period day. We start at 8:25 in the morning. We finish at 3:25 in the afternoon. Your students will take 8 classes a day. They're 45 minutes each. And then one of their periods is a 30-minute lunch. Actually, I'll have you translate that first, Ms. Mencia.
Yeah. So aquí en la escuela de secundaria empezamos a las 8:25 hasta las 3:25. Son 8 clases de 45 minutos y una clase son de media hora de lonche que son 30 minutos.
So out of those 9 slots in a student's day, and we'll show you a visual of that in a second, there are 3 levels of math. Potentially, there are 2 different levels of English language arts, or ELA. There's 2 kinds of social studies, both general and dual language social studies. We offer science. We offer something we call communications arts or Spanish language arts if you're in dual language. We have advisory, which is similar to a study hall, or in that place you would take band and or choir. You're able to take both. You'll hear more about that later. Or PE, which stands for physical education, is another slot. And then students can choose then students will take we call it the encore block, which is digital media arts, art, and then music or our STEM class Fuse. There are some students that will have an intervention in reading or math or a resource period depending on their needs.
Tenemos aquí en esta escuela tenemos 3 niveles de matemáticas, 2 niveles de lenguaje, lenguaje de artes, 2 de estudios sociales, tenemos ciencias, igual que tenemos banda, tenemos media de artes, tenemos arte, igual que Fuse.
You want to talk about the last one, Miss Mancia, or no?
I can't see the slides. What's the last part you said?
That some students will have intervention or a resource period.
Y algunos estudiantes van a tener clases de intervención.
Okay. So here's a visual of that schedule, just if that helps you see it better or helps your students see this better. They have 9 slots in their day. So this is how their schedule would look for. This is for all 3 grades. For 6th grade would be on the left side. You can see that if you see multiple things listed, they would take one of those courses. So with the exception of PE, you would take PE and health. So where ELA or accelerated ELA is listed, they would either take regular English language arts or accelerated English language arts next year.
I'm sorry, Mr. Cunningham, but we can't see the classes that you're seeing on here, so I'm not sure if the parents can see it.
Am I the only one that can see this slide?
I can see it.
I can see it.
I can't see it. I'm still stuck at incoming 6th grade parent night.
You
Well,
might have to translate verbatim here with with
Yeah,
the part of the slides there, Mr. Cunningham.
turn it up for me and I'll translate it.
yeah, absolutely. So these are the 9 classes that we offer in kind of their schedule. But if multiple things are listed, that typically means they pick one or the other. So for example, social studies or dual social studies, it depends on what program they're in.
Okay, so esas son las clases que ofrecemos aquí en la escuela. Son 9 clases. Cuando están aquí en las clases que están múltiples clases, aquí, sorry, I lost it. Múltiples clases aquí en la lista, quiere decir que tienen que escoger una o otro. So you said language arts or...
Yeah, it could be a language arts or accelerated English language
O
arts.
puede ser artes, lenguajes o aceleradas también.
Okay. So there's some, while Mr. Peterson's going to go over some of the building procedures, I am going to go over and help Ms. Mancia to make sure she can see it while Mr. Peterson covers.
All right, excellent here. So welcome again, and thank you for viewing this. Just a little bit different from the middle school, just a little bit different from our intermediate school in a number of our procedures. And we're just, and this slide describes what those procedures are. I can keep going here, Belinda, if you are still working on that. But unlike the intermediate school where students begin their classes at about 8 o'clock, we begin ours at 8:25. Due to social distancing and our COVID precautions, we ask that no students arrive before 8:15. Even after arriving at 8:15, they can quickly get through our doors, get temperature checked, go to their locker, eat breakfast, and then still make it to first hour. So by all means here, they are able to come in and still be able to kind of accomplish what they need to accomplish. And then they can come out, get to class here by 8:25.
Ok, so la entrada aquí son a las 8:15 de la mañana. Los estudiantes pueden desayunar en la cafetería. En su llegada, el almuerzo, los estudiantes comen a la cafetería de mesas de 6 a 8 personas. No hay un plano de asientos. Si la clima permite, los últimos 10 minutos de los almuerzos saldrían afuera. Los estudiantes están aquí hasta las 3:25 de la tarde, igual, y los camiones permanecerán en el edificio hasta que los autobuses salgan y hay autobuses a las 4:30 y a las 5 que serían para los autobuses de los niños de la tarde.
Mhm. Right, and I think you went through all of it here, but that's okay. Um, so just kind of an FYI here for parents, if I could just kind of finish this off here, Miss Mancia, in English, but students are still able to eat, will be eating in the cafeteria, and there is no seating chart, so students are able to sit next to their friends or people whom they would like to eat with. We do offer microwaves to be used by our students, so if you pack a lunch that requires it to be heated up, we do furnish that for our kids as well. Also, which is kind of nice, I know the kids enjoy, is if the weather is good out, whether it's the fall, spring, or if we get a winter break here, the kids really do enjoy getting outside and for a little bit of free time and burning off some energy before they head back to classes. School ends at 3:25, where our buses will be parked in the south side of the school. That's typical to where the intermediate buses pick up the kids as well. So there are 8 buses total, and once they leave here, our bus riders or our walkers are allowed to leave as well. Anybody that would like to pick up their kids here, we have a map on this next slide that shows a little bit more detail what you would need to do in order to pick up your middle school student. But also, if your child would like to be involved in athletics or activities after school, they are able to do that. We offer 2 buses after school. Both would stop and pick up our kids at the building, and then also drop kids off at certain designated places around our district. But we have a 4:30 bus and a 5 o'clock bus that run after school each night.
Ok, también ofrecemos microondas para la gente que traiga sus lonches de casa, así para poder calentarlos aquí. En la próxima slide aquí vamos a ver un mapa de cómo pueden llegar los papás que van a recoger a los niños. Los autobuses se estacionan en la parte sur de la escuela.
Okay. So if you go back here, so instead of going the long loop around to pick up and drop off your children at the intermediate school, a nice way to avoid that is to taking the half a loop, going by there. Typically in the morning, you would see me standing there waiting for buses. If you take that half loop, you will not get caught behind our buses that are dropping off our kids that are riding the bus each morning. Same thing with after school as well. There's still a lot of traffic on the intermediate side, which is the southern half of our building. So if you take that half loop, there's less chance of you getting caught in traffic there. So we recommend that you pick up and you drop off at door number 1, which is designated in the red, and that you use the half a loop instead of the full large loop.
Para recoger, igual que dejar a sus niños en la escuela, en vez de ir alrededor de todo el parqueadero, lo que van a hacer es por aquí entre en medio, voltear ahí y voltear a donde está la puerta número 1, que está lo rojo, la puerta roja que está aquí, que ven el mapa, y los autobuses van a estar en la parte sur de la escuela, así para que si voltea aquí, no está en el tráfico de la escuela intermedia, que la escuela intermedia es la parte sur que ve aquí en el mapa.
Okay, next one there. Okay, so in regards to the buses and picking our kids up at 4:30 and 5 o'clock, we want to offer our kids a wide variety of experiences while they're in middle school. So this this kind of gives you an idea of the different things we do have to offer either after school. And there's some clubs that are incorporated throughout the day as well.
También igual que todos los autobuses que estamos teniendo para después de las clases de las 4:30 y de 5, también queremos ofrecerlos unos clubs igual que deportes aquí en la escuela.
Okay. So as you can see here, sports-wise, whether you want to play, whether you want to run, whether you want to play soccer, basketball, volleyball, wrestling, there's a sport for every athletic person that wants to get into athletics, or at least to even try it at the middle school level.
Como pueden ver aquí, tenemos una variedad de deportes, dependiendo de lo que usted quiera hacer aquí en la escuela, si usted quiere correr, igual que si quiere jugar básquetbol, voleibol o unos otros de esos deportes que tenemos aquí en la lista.
And I think it's just a good rule of thumb here that, whatever high school you're going to be transitioning from after going to middle school here, whether it's Mundelein High School, Stevenson High School, or wherever, it's good to explore while you are younger and you're in a smaller setting. Because once you get to a bigger environment, people become more specialized and more set, and your spectrum of things that you would like to explore definitely narrows when you get to the bigger school settings like high school.
Comenta el señor Peterson que es bueno explorar mientras están en una escuela pequeña. Ya cuando llegue a la escuela que es la preparatoria, es una escuela más grande y ya son unos deportes más intensos, y explorar mientras se puede en una escuela pequeña, y ofrecemos todos estos.
So our recommendation is even if you don't know you're going to like it or not, here to explore different things and just to kind of find what your interests and hobbies are. Other along with sports, other clubs that we offer: broadcast club, yearbook club, art, sewing, scholastic bowl club coexist, we group tutorial, National Junior Honor Society, and then the Principals Advisory Council. So we offer a lot of different clubs based upon people's interests. So we encourage the kids to explore as much as possible.
Su recomendación es que explore mientras esté aquí, que ofrecemos una variedad de deportes igual que clubs. Uno de los clubs que ofrecemos aquí es el Club de Anuario, Club Transmisión, Club de Arte, Club de Costura, Club de Scholastic Bowl, Club de Regroup, es un tutorial, NJHS, y consejo asociado del director. Y su recomendación del señor Peterson es que mientras estén aquí, explorar, y a veces no sabes uno que si le gusta o no, pero lo puede explorar y puede ver cuáles son sus hobbies y qué es lo que sus gustos mientras esté aquí con nosotros.
All right, you're doing a great job, Ms. Mancia. So if you go to the next slide, please. We want to turn it over to Ms. Rosales.
Okay, I'm going to discuss the band program that we have here at West Oak. So we typically offer band for 5th through 8th grade students. This year has been a little crazy. We are still taking on 5th graders. If there's anybody who's interested, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later on. But basically our band curriculum we work on during the day. The students have band every day of the week, which is fantastic. We get a full 45 minutes, just like every other class. And the stuff that we work on in class translates to the concerts that we do, to NIMCON, which is the conference that we are a part of up in Northern Illinois, and our jazz bands as well. Jazz band is also an extracurricular that students can join typically in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. During the day. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead, Ms. Mancia.
Me comenta la señora Rosales que todavía estamos emitiendo a niños de 5º grado, que lo que hace aquí es el currículum es durante las clases, son durante los 45 minutos. Hace también banda de jazz, igual que compiten en diferentes competiciones.
So during the school day, as well as teaching our normal ensembles, which is 5th grade, 6th grade, and then a combined 7th and 8th grade, the band program is able to provide rotating lessons where students are pulled out of a class on a rotating basis so they don't miss the same class more than typically once a month, sometimes even a month and a half.
Como trabaja aquí serían que rotarían en diferentes clases así para que los niños no estén faltando las mismas clases todos los mismos días. So varían los días dependiendo de diferentes clases así para que el niño no se atrase en esas clases.
We also highly recommend taking private lessons. That's not something that is required as part of our band program, but if your student is new or if your student is really doing well in band, we highly encourage that they take private lessons. We do have a list of teachers who are in the area for every instrument as well too. So that is something, again, that is optional for students and parents.
También se les recomienda, ofrecemos clases particulares. La señora Rosales tiene una lista de maestros que pueden tomar en clases particulares afuera de la escuela. Le recomienda así para los niños nuevos o si es muy bueno, o igual que si se está atrasando.
This summer, we are offering our summer band program, which I'm super excited about because we haven't had one since 2019. So during summer band, we typically work with the students to help maintain and grow the skills that they've learned. But this is also where students who are going into sixth grade, maybe they decided not to join band right now because they didn't want to do it remote. If a student joins band now, we can take them for summer band 2021 and they would get a little bit more individualized, even potentially some one-on-one student to teacher interactions in order to help them get caught up to where they would need to be.
También estamos ofreciendo una banda de verano que no hemos podido hacer y este año se va a ofrecer a todos los niños. Igualmente, si su niño se inscribe para banda para este año, puede ir a la banda de verano y le podría ayudar para poder practicar más en sus clases, igual que tocando, y le ayudaría a enfocar en todo eso, que repasar todo lo que están repasando en este momento en clase.
I'm going to combine kind of the last couple of things here. So we do have a band website, and I did put my email at the bottom. But just kind of some things to keep in mind is that, band and any performing music class is an additional class and responsibility. We do treat it like any other class. So students can definitely start and continue through middle school, but it can move beyond that. We highly recommend that students continue in high school, even at the collegiate level, or even just, in bands that are outside of just the academic setting. There are also state students who can go to state to play their instruments. That's typically more in the high school level, but that is something that we're starting to look into for the middle school level, as well as musical scholarships for performing music when students graduate from high school.
Aquí también hay una página de web que lo puso aquí, igual que está su correo electrónico de la señora Rosales para más información. Igual lo que ella comenta es que pueden seguir aquí en la escuela de secundaria y poder seguir en la preparatoria. Ya cuando salen de ahí también es bueno para que tienen muchos, you said scholarships? Sorry.
Yep.
Ms. Rosales?
Yes, scholarships.
That you can get scholarship with music, you said?
Yes. As they go in through high school, if they apply to collegiate level band, they can earn scholarships in going into college.
También pueden aplicar para becas ya cuando siguen en la preparatoria.
And that's all I got. Thank you so much. I believe I'm turning it over to Ms. Borkowski.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Ms. Borkowski. Good to see you again. And I'm going to talk a little bit about our choir program at West Oak. So it is something where all are encouraged to join. We're really hoping to get as many sixth graders as possible through the door. There is no experience or minimum ability required. And that really rolls into the program vision, which I just want to go over quickly. There are two main pillars of our philosophy for the choir program. So the first one is that we are building connection and community. And the second one is that we are fostering high-level musicianship. And I have really found that one feeds the other. So a simpler way to say it would be, come for the friends and I'll teach you how to sing.
Aunque la señora Borkowski es la maestra de coro y música aquí, lo comenta que le recomienda a todos a tomar una clase de música igual que el coro, que no se requiere ninguna experiencia, que ella dice que vengan por los amigos y que ella les va a enseñar cómo cantar.
I need like a t-shirt with that on it or something. So we do spend, as kids come in the door, we do spend a lot of time in the beginning focusing on basic singing skills. I like to remind people that while many people feel that singing is something you either have a talent for or you don't, the truth is that it is a very teachable skill. So we do a lot of skill building in the beginning to help everybody become more confident with their singing voices. I'm kind of stealing this from a later bullet point, but specifically as students in middle school are starting to go through voice changes that can create some insecurity. And so we're really focused on just helping students build their skills, helping them feel supported as they go through the voice change and making singing something that is fun for them to do with their peers.
Mucha gente piensa que cantar es que si lo tienes o no, dice la señora Berkowski que es algo que sí se puede enseñar, que ella lo puede enseñar en eso, es lo que repasan todas las mañanas, empezando las clases, repasan todos ejercicios para mejorar sus voz. Me comenta que es muy importante ahorita que las voces están cambiando cuando ellos se van desarrollando, que es algo que ellos pueden hacerlo y a mejorar, y ella le puede enseñar cómo hacerlo.
We do have concerts throughout the year. Obviously, things have been a little bit different with COVID, but there will be concerts based on the songs that we learn in class. We also participate in the NIMCON conference and solo and ensemble in the winter and the spring. And then there is an extracurricular group that will hopefully be starting up again soon. That is a mix of show choir and a cappella that meets twice a week, and that's optional.
También hay conciertos durante el año. Sabe que este año ha sido un poco difícil teniendo los conciertos, pero sí competen en un concierto que se llama NIMCON, y también variedad de a cappella y programas de coro.
And then there is, sorry to do this, but there is one point I forgot to put into the slide, which is, it was mentioned earlier by Mr. Cunningham that students are able to choose to either be in band or in choir, or to take both if they want to. So students are, as we mentioned before, encouraged to explore all of their options. And we do have a schedule option where you would be able to split your time between choir and band if you were interested in being both ensembles. And then the last thing that's on the list here is a link to a recruitment video. This was recorded before COVID, but it's a lot of fun to watch. It's about 9 minutes long, so we're not going to be able to watch it now, but I would encourage you to take some time to watch our recruitment video and hear from our students about what they love about being in choir.
Sí se les da a escoger a los niños si quieren tomar música o banda, pero también pueden tomar las dos cosas, pueden tomar el coro y banda, o música y banda. Aquí hay un enlace de un video que hicieron que son 9 minutos de largo, que les recomiendo de verlo, y son grabaciones de por qué deberías estar en coro y música.
All right, thank you.
So here's some important information coming up for sixth graders. I'll go through kind of each point, and I'll try to pause Ms. Mancy to help you out. So the first piece of important information that's very important to know, and this is probably the number one thing, is that all incoming sixth graders need an updated new school physical on file by the middle of October.
La primera cosa es que todos los niños de sexto año necesitan un examen físico nuevo en el archivo antes que empiecen en el otoño.
Get your sports physical is usually included in this. So if your student wants to do sports this year, as long as they have their school physical, they'll be able to do sports.
El físico de deporte también está incluido en este físico. Si sus niños quieren hacer cualquier deporte, lo pueden hacer con ese mismo físico.
Okay. Immunizations are also required. There are new updated ones that every sixth grader needs to get. I want to be clear, though, that this does not include COVID at this time. At this time, a COVID vaccine is not required for any incoming sixth grade students.
Sí se requiere las nuevas vacunas, pero él quiere ser claro que en este momento no estamos requiriendo la vacuna de COVID. So esa no está parte de las vacunas que es necesario en el momento.
Sometime during the year, a separate dental exam will be required. And just so everyone knows, our nurse, Ms. Marquez, will send home this information over the summer and throughout the early fall.
También es necesario un examen dental que la señora Marquez, que es la enfermera aquí, va a mandar a casa en algún punto de ese verano.
One adjustment that families find when they come to middle school is that most of our communication that goes home is electronic. And that means it comes home via email or on our website or text. And that includes our report cards. So families need to create or update their PowerSchool accounts, and you can work with Ms. Calderon right now with the intermediate school to get that set up.
La mayoría de la información que nosotros mandamos a casa es electrónicamente. Solo estamos, si tiene que buscar su Power School, su información de Power School y también actualizar sus correos para que puedan recibir las boletas de las calificaciones de los niños.
I know students are always asking for their bus routes, their schedules, and their lockers. That exciting information will go to families in early August.
Las rutas de autobuses, igual que los horarios de las clases y casilleros, se van a mandar a casa en el principio de agosto.
One thing that's not on here is that registration is open right now, and you can call any of the schools and we will help you with registration for next year if you have not already started.
Una cosa que no está aquí es que la registración ya está abierta. Se puede llamar a alguna de las escuelas y nosotros podemos ayudarlas a hacer eso.
And then the last item here is that we plan to have a 6th grade student orientation event at West Oak Middle School. We're planning it for the morning of August 13th, and we will send more information out regarding those plans.
Ahorita tenemos planeado una orientación para los niños de 6º año, que sería para el 13 de agosto, que vamos a mandar más información a casa.
All right. So that concludes our presentation. So we would encourage you at any time between now and 9th grade, and even beyond 9th grade, feel free to contact us. And there's some of our contact information there, and we'll make sure to add Ms. Rosales' Twitter handle to the first slide. We don't want her to be left out. So we'll get that on there when we post the presentation.
So esto concluye la presentación del día de hoy. Aquí están nuestros números de teléfono para comunicación, que puede llamar a cualquier, está el señor Cunningham, igual que el señor Peterson y que la oficina. También van a agregar la señora Rosales para si necesitan información sobre la banda.
So we will also post this presentation on our website as well, in case you missed some of it or someone you know would like to hear the presentation in English and Spanish, we will post this.
También vamos a poner esta presentación en nuestra página de web. Si usted no pudo asistir la primera parte o amigos o un conocido que sabe que no pudo asistir, le puede avisar que vamos a ponerlos en el sitio de web.
All right. So
Also, Mr. Cunningham, for our attendees, do we want to open it up for questions if they have any?
you want to go ahead and Mr. Hanson, you want to stop recording?